So after the discussion of this float and double, then let us see through Eclipse. First, the syntax and the properties that we discussed about using F capital and using F small. Thank you. So then followed by, we discuss the remaining points. So here I am using the data type called float, and with some variable of programmer choice, say F1. Digit can be a part of variable, but variable can't start with the digit. It's a rule to remember. So float F1 equals some value which we use most frequently as a pi value, 3.14. Now you observe, since it is a decimal value, so we are getting a syntax error. Then the correction for this is use F small or use F capital, any one, not both. So this is the solution for this. Once it is a decimal number, then while using float, when you're storing a decimal number, using small f or capital F is mandatory. That's what the point which we have written. Then if I use the same float type, but a different variable of programmer choice with a value say 100 as a plain number, is it mandatory or optional to use F? It's optional. Without the F, the syntax is accepted, or even if you want to use F also, still the syntax will be accepted. It's optional there. That's what we have written. Then same thing, when we print these two variables called say F1 and F2, let us see the outputs. F is a part of syntax. It's not a part of the value. That's why we are not going to get in the output. So let me save this. Observe last two lines of output in the Eclipse. So here we got 3.14 and we got 100.0, which is 100 only we have given. But since it's a float data type, the value will become 100.0. And then a quick two examples of double. Then we'll go for the range of this. Double sum D1 equals some value, say 3.14 again wantedly. The next followed by, again I use double with a variable name of D2. And this time also I am going to use 100 itself. So are we using any D capital or D small at the end of double? No, it's mandatory optional. In both the scenarios, it is optional as we have discussed. It's optional. Yeah. Then if you print here also, we are going to get the same outputs like previously we got. So first I'm using a D1, the next followed by I use D2. Let me save this and let me execute by keyboard shortcut. So here are the same outputs that we got even for double also. Then after this we discussed about the sum property. So for this I'm using a float F3 equals a value say 1 point. So I'm trying to write some big value. Some number of digits I have used. Is it accepted? Yes, it is accepted. Certain numbers of digits I have used here. But now let us observe by printing this F3 variable. That's what I mean the precision in terms of output. While storing the data, it is accepting some number of digits up to 37, something like that. And but once we execute to see the value of the output, we don't get all those things in the result. It's getting adjusted. You can see here. Yeah, so we got a 7-digit output only. So then here my correction is, so here it is 5 to 7 digits only is the output, and then here is another correction from my end. It is 15 to 17 digits for this. It's not 37, then it is 15 to 17 digits only. Depends on your Eclipse version. So when we use the float, then the output part will have 5 to 7 digits only. And when we use 300 digits for double, then in the output we are going to get 15 to 17 digits only. That's the precision value which I've discussed about it. And here I'm storing something as around more than 20, but we can see in the output only 7 digits. So 3 4 3 4 3 4 3, 7 digits. Similarly, when we go for double example, some double D3 equals, so some whole part Then some decimal part, I'm using certain big value, then followed by semicolon. So see, even though we are using such a big value to store using D3, but once we print this, it's gonna give 17 decimals is output, 15 to 17 only is output. So you can see here. This is the last point which I'm talking about. So is it clear or any questions? Okay. These are some minute details. So if you remember, it's better. Then after this, let's go to the next type. The next type, which is a character. So what's the memory allocation for a character? Since it's a primitive type, it consumes 2 bytes of memory, fixed size data type. What's the purpose of this character? The purpose of character is used to store any single character. So here, to use the same syntax of data type, let me go for char is a data type. Then variable name is programmer choice. I'm using ch1 equals the value that I'm going to store is capital A. Then ends with semicolon. At the same time, I'm using char ch2 equals any special symbol. So I want to store at the rate symbol. The next char ch3 equals any character. So I'm going to store space. So here I'm going to store a space. So am I correct with my syntax for this character? Or any corrections here? Yeah, only space is there. Space key on the keyboard. Yeah, so here from basic syntax to character, there's a difference. The rule for character is the char values must be enclosed in single quotes. Otherwise, it's a syntax error. So opening of single quote, space key on the keyboard, then closing of the single quotes. These all are correct. Yeah. So then followed by, so when JVM execute this line of code, so we know that char consumes 2 bytes of memory. Therefore, in RAM, then there is a 2 bytes of memory allocation, and then ch1 is variable and the value is A will be stored. So when we print it, when we try to access the value of the same variables as ch1, and this time we are going to get output of A itself. So single quotes is a part of syntax, not a part of data, or not a part of value. So like this, we can print any of this. When we print a space, we don't see anything in the output, but we can select that space from the console. So this is just a basic thing. And here there is a possibility of cross questioning us by using this char type, some variable of programmer choice. Can we use only opening and closing of single quotes? No character here. No character and no space also. Is this is possible with character type? No, this is a compilation error. This line of code that is storing no value using character is a compilation error. It's not possible. Yeah. So then on this character type, we may get one more cross question in interviews. That is, since we are storing how many characters by using this character type? Only a single character every time. Then why it requires 2 bytes? Is 1 byte is not sufficient? Yeah, is a cross question that we get it. So therefore, the answer is when it comes to char type, in some programming languages, it is limited to ASCII values only. But when it comes to Java, it is actually called as a unique character. Unichar, that means universal character. Universal character means it's not only the English letters or ASCII values range of letters. We can store any language single letter by using this Java's character data type. Like for example, Telugu alphabets or Hindi alphabets. So these also we can store by using Java's character type. And if you know some Japanese, Chinese, all those things, any single character is possible by using Java's character data type. That's why 1 byte is allocated for the language. 1 byte is allocated for the type of language, and one more byte is allocated for the value. That's the reason Java's character data type requires 2 bytes of memory. Yeah. So since it's a unique or universal character value, there is another format of storing the character values in Java also. So what is that? Again, this is also for your additional knowledge. So which is by using this char type, some different variable. I'm using ch5 equals, just please observe, in single quotes, a backward slash u for universal character, small u, then followed by any 4-digit combination we can use it. This 4 can be any combination of digits and alphabets A to F, A, B, C, D, and so on up to F. So that could be the combination. It can be the any up combination of this digits from 0 to 9, and then alphabets from A to F. We can use anything in place of this. For example, if you are using char some ch6 equals single quotes backward slash u 00 something like 41, if I remember correctly, then this is the value that will give output of capital A. 42 capital B, 43 capital C, like this. This is another format of storing character values in Java. So why I am giving this much detail? So with my previous experience, one of the student got a syntax of character like this. Then the output is A. Then the first option is A. Second option is something B or C or D. Then out of that, one option is compilation error. So since if you are not aware of this, we go for option of compilation error. That's the reason I'm giving this information. So even we can see through Eclipse also these examples. Clear? So after this char, let's discuss Boolean. Then we'll execute both character and Boolean through Eclipse once again. So for that, I am moving to. So yeah, do you have any questions in this char? Parvati, any questions, please? Yeah. No, where we are typing more than one, this is what? No, this is under format, but internally it stores only one character. And if you are using some various combinations and all, if my system is not calibrated to such language, for example, I want to see what is the output of Telugu letter A. Something I have typed it, the universal code, but is my system is calibrated? No. Therefore, in the output part, when you try to print this, if system is not capable, then we are going to get something as garbage kind of things, some square boxes will get. That means syntactically it will accept it, but outwise, because my system is not capable, it will not show. If your system is capable of supporting all languages, then you will see the output. Yeah. So then we'll go for the Boolean. Boolean, since it's a primitive which takes 1 bit of memory whenever we use this, and the purpose is to store yes or no kind of values in a general terms, programmatically true or false type of values. Since you are going to use or you are going to learn various programming languages, so for better clarity, so here I'm giving one example. So data type, then variable name, say Boolean, so B10 equals true is my value, semicolon. Then again I'm using boolean, a different variable name say b11. Then I'm using true is my value with all capitals this time. Then one more time boolean, and I'm using some b12 is my variable name, and this time all lowercase letters. Same true value only. Out of these three syntaxes, you think which one is correct? Any two, or all three, or any one? Yeah, please guess it. Yeah. So here, using capital T is syntactically not correct in Java, and using all capitals syntactically not correct in any programming language. So in Java, all lowercase letters is the correct way of storing a true value into Boolean variable with Boolean type. Then here false also, all must be in lowercase letters only. This is correct in Python, but not in Java. T capital is correct in Python, but not in Java. Yeah. So then if you print this, the variables which are correct only I'm taking, say B12 or B13. So we are going to get the output as true and then followed by false if you use this. And one more point, when it comes to true or false, true and false are also predefined keywords in every programming language, even in Java also. These two are predefined keywords. Same as like our byte short, int, long, float, double and all. So true and false also predefined keywords. Like true means internally 1 and false means internally 0. True means internally 1 and false means internally 0. So this is about the 8 primitives that we discussed, and if you have any questions please. Meanwhile, let me go to Eclipse to execute character first, then we'll go for Boolean types. So for the first, I'm using some char ch1 equals. Directly if you are using any letter, any single letter, it is syntactically wrong. What's correction? You have to use the single quotes to store any character values, then that is a syntactically accepted. Then I'm printing this to see the output. So the variable name ch1. Next, I'm using character, then a different variable name called ch2, and in single quotes I'm storing @ symbol. Accepted? Yes. So again I'm using a character type with some variable name, assignment operator. Then in single quotes I'm using a space key on my keyboard. Accepted? Yes. The next, not printing, I'm going to use next character ch4 variable, but only single quotes, no value, nothing. Is it accepted? No. So line number 59 is syntactically wrong because storing no value is not possible using character data type. It's a point to remember. So because of that, the remaining lines will not be executed by JVM. That's why I'm commenting that line. Already the notes is given, so I'm just commenting that. Then I have discussed that by using this character type, we can also store unichar format of values also. What's the syntax if you remember? Backward slash small u, then the combination of 0 to 9 digits, A to F characters, capital letters. We can use any one of them. So since I remember this 41, I think so is A. So now I'm using this syntax, it's accepted. So now let me also print. So what I'm printing? I'm printing ch3 to observe the space output. Then followed by, I'll also print ch5 as well. Sorry. Now let me save and let me execute this program. The last outputs you have to observe. So you can see for capital A directly we are getting capital A from line number 56 output. And this is a space. We can't see anything, but we can select there is a space. And then 41 is giving the output as ch5 as capital A itself. That's a Unicode format. So for example, if some unique value, which even I don't know what's the value, but let us try. So I'm using ch6 equals in single quotes backward slash u, something like abcd I'm using. It's possible. Yes, syntactically accepted. Now let us print what is it ch6. Since my system is not calibrated to all such languages, then we may not get a readable output. We may get some garbage kind of output. I execute this, you can see. This is some special character. Which language and all, I'm not aware of. Yeah. And if I just check some instead of A, B, C, D, I'll take A, B, say 99. 99 is also accepted. Now let us execute. Again, observe the same last line of output. Something unreadable format, I'm trying to get it. See, you can see this is also some symbol. In which language, we are not aware of it. But this is the format which we can use to store. So after this, we discussed about the Boolean type. Boolean is a complete spelling in Java. In other programming languages, only bool is the word. So here I'm using some B10 since B1 and 2 are already used in my previous lines. So I'm using true with T capital. Is it accepted? T capital is accepted? No. I'll change to all capitals. Is also no. Then what's the correction? Everything must be in lowercase letters. And you can see the Boolean, char, float, double. There is a color combination which is same as the true also. So this indicates in Eclipse that these are the predefined keywords. Similarly, we can use Boolean, then some different variable, and this time I'm trying to store a false directly by using everything lowercase letters. It's also same predefined keyword only. Yeah. So this is about the complete story of all the 8 primitive data types. If you have any questions, please ask.